It hasn't dissipated. And now he's trying about it. He's very worried. So my own feeling, ma'am, is that Quad is here to stay. The impact on India is we manage our security on our own. But there are other areas in which there was talk about 1 billion vaccines being made, and India was one of the countries identified. Then we're talking about cooperation in high-tech areas. We're talking about supply chain resilience. We're talking about a number of things. And if you read between the lines, everywhere, the idea is that China should be kept under control. Otherwise, those fellows will do all kinds. So his visit here and the meeting of the foreign ministers will certainly be useful. But anybody saying it's a game changer and it'll change everything in the world, no. It's more of the same, but it's a reaffirmation of our commitment to an important.
Right. Mr. Deepak, this was an informal group that has, it's not really been something that was, had a treaty or had a headquarter. I also want to understand from the point of view of energy crisis. That's something that the world is facing at this hour. Do you think Marco Rubio's visit is also going to be, in a very, maybe in a plain Jane way, he's kind of trying to sell the Venezuelan oil to India. Do you also look at that from that lens?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The world's largest known oil reserves, almost 17, 18% are with Venezuela. Even though US sanctions had disrupted the Venezuelan oil industry totally and their production fell, now it's back. Of course he wants us to buy Venezuelan. Of course he wants us to buy American. There's no question about it. Will we do it? Let me put it to you very bluntly. We can talk about strategy, we can talk about morality, we can talk about whatever we want. Reality is I'll buy it from wherever I can. I'll buy it from the moon if I can get it at a price. And I think Mr. Rubio to understand this, will not be bullied, will not be bulldozed. That era in our lives is over in India's development. Now we will make a choice based on our self-interest, our national interest. I think that Venezuelan oil certainly will come to India. All this talk, it keeps coming, we'll not buy Russian oil. Oh, India has promised it will do this, India has promised it will do that. We make no sense. We'll buy, why should I not buy Russian oil if they're giving it to me at this time? Let me just add for the benefit of many of your viewers who probably are aware of this already. China continued to buy Iranian oil despite all the sanctions. It was being given, according to what my friends told me, at a 70% discount. That's why the Chinese were gobbling up whatever they could, every drop of Iranian oil. It was being sold to them very cheaply. Now, of course, the situation has changed after the Israel-America-Iran conflict. So my feeling that, ma'am, buying oil from Venezuela, from wherever. The Venezuelan president, by the way, the acting president, what's her name? Delcy Rodriguez, I've met her. She's coming to India in the next 3 or 4 days. I don't know if she's going to be here while Marco Rubio is here, but she will be coming. And then again, this is one of the issues that will be discussed. And why not? I have no issues with Venezuela. They've never hurt me in any way. I've never hurt them in any way. Hugo Chavez had come here also at once upon a time. Great buddy of India, etc. So many things that we are seeing happen. And I think this energy certainly will be one of the major areas. But if we are pressured that you can only buy from me and nobody else, oh no, then we'll tell him to have a nice sambar dosa and we are not going to be bullied.
Right.
That's my understanding after 53 years in.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Deepak. These were insightful thoughts from your side. Thank you so much for joining us. We have another big breaking news that's coming in, but on your television screen right now is Marco Rubio, who has arrived in Calcutta and has visited the Mother Teresa house, which is where her tomb is, which shows her simple living. And right now, the convoy is going to be leaving, and shortly, say about 1 p.m., Marco Rubio will land in New Delhi. But now it's time to slip into another story where we're going to tell you that Samar Singh has now been presented in the Bhopal court today, and the AIIMS medical team is going to fly to Bhopal for the second autopsy. Now, all of that is going to happen, and Samarth is finally going to be presented at the court. This is a much awaited win, not just for Republic, but for the people of India, for their faith in the Constitution and the law and order. Samarth, who has been absconding for the last 10 days plus, the husband of late Tisha Sharma, has finally been presented at the Bhopal court. And as we know, he had been absconding, in fact, will be presented in the Bhopal court shortly. He has not yet been presented. He will be presented at the Bhopal court. Who has been absconding for the last 10 days is now going to be presented at the Bhopal court. But right now, we have Shambhavi from Bhopal. Shambhavi, this is a big win for the people of the country. this is, I think it's a moment that I think which brings smile to a lot of Indians, in fact, all the Indians of the country who have been relentlessly pursuing this case, and so have you been on the ground. What do you have, what time is going to be the hearing, and when is he going to be presented in the court?
Well, yes, definitely a huge, huge win for the family and for the entire Republic Network, who's been relentlessly covering this entire matter, has been putting pressure on the government, on the agencies to make sure that some action is being taken. Yesterday, we saw 2 victories where the postmortem 2 was approved by the High Court, Jabalpur High Court, as well as a notice was issued in the matter of cancellation of anticipatory bail of Girbala Singh. Now, today, as we know, just 2 or 3 days ago, the district court in Bhopal has asked Samar Singh to appear before them on 23rd of May. Well, today is 23rd of May, and just yesterday, Bhopal police took custody of Samar Singh from Jabalpur High Court, and he was brought late night here in Bhopal, and today he will be presented before the district court, where the police is expected to ask for remand for police custody for custodial interrogation, and the hearing will happen sometime around 11. That is what is expected. Of course, there can be changes in timing given the order of the cases, but 11 is what is expected. We'll also see Samar Singh there. Samar Singh has been asked to surrender, to withdraw his application of anticipatory bail that he filed before the High Court of Jabalpur, and was asked to appear and to surrender before either the investigating officer or the trial court in the matter.
Right, Shambi, interestingly, the Bar Council has also suspended Samar Singh from legal practices. That's also a big win if you look at it.
Definitely, definitely. We've been trying to get this done. We've been trying to get our message across to make sure that somebody, I am from the same fraternity, from the legal fraternity as well. So somebody from the legal fraternity to have done something like this, or to have even alleged for something like this. His wife was barely there for 6 months and she is dead now. Whether it's suicide, whether it's murder, that's still a matter of interrogation. But to be alleged of the same for something so severe as dowry, harassment, abuse, mental cruelty, this was definitely an action which was needed.
Thank you. Thank you for giving those interesting updates. 11 o'clock is, I think, all heads and eyes are on. But for now, it's time to tell you about N. Swaminathan, an eminent artist and head of the Thevara Padasalai, in fact, the Dharumapuram Adhinam, which was, he's been honored as a Padam Shri for his exceptional contribution in the Tamil Pan Isai tradition, Thirumurai hymns. Now, the preservation of the ancient musical discourses, he's been celebrated as a supreme artist and an A-grade All India radio performer with an artistic journey spanning over 55 years. He has been dedicated his entire life to carrying Tamil devotional music to the global audiences across continents and has been releasing over 100+ albums. Now, he's been deeply committed to oral traditions, training generation after generation students of fine art in the Thirumurai Isai at the grassroots level. Now take a look at this report that honors this musical legacy.
திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் தோடுடைய செவியன் விடையேறி ஓர் தூவெண் மதிசூடி.
The man who sings 9,000 songs, Shri N. Swaminathan, Padma Shri 2026. "80 kilometers from Chennai, in Tiruthanni, there is the sacred Murugan temple where, for 26 years, devotees are treated to melodious devotional songs by Shri Swaminathan, making their hearts filled with spiritual devotion. But how did this journey begin? Born into a farming family, the life-changing moment came when he was 14.
My father took me from our small village to nearby town Thirukarukavur. There a concert of Madurai Somu was being held. After the concert, my father took me to get his blessings and he asked me to sing. Meditate, O mind, meditate daily upon Lord Murugan. If done, your evil deeds and sinful karma will be removed. He said, I have good voice and diction, and suggested my father to put me in a music school. Then I started learning Tirumurai.
Tirumurai is a Tamil compilation of devotional songs dedicated to Lord Shiva, composed between the 6th and 11th centuries. Among them, Thevaram songs are the most prominent. Young Swaminathan was sent to Thevaram Pathasala in Tirukadavur and Dharmapuram Adinam for 8 years, and he learned the Thevaram hymns with complete devotion and rigorous practice. This earned him the title of Oduvar, Sacred Temple Chanter. The tradition of Oduvar singing goes back to the times of Rajaraja Chola, he who built the famous Brihadeshwara temple. The Cholas encouraged the preservation of hymns as inscriptions in Saiva temples. The Oduvars are a special group. The Tirumurai, specifically the Thevaram hymns, are set to Tamil musical forms known as Pan, equivalent to specific sets of Carnatic music ragas. Oduvars Swaminathan, along with a group of devoted Adinams, Tamil Saiva monasteries, and other Oduvars, is working towards continuing this tradition, training groups of students in Dharmapuram and Chidambaram. For their global Tamil audience, they have brought out the hymns in more than 100 collections in digital format.
As a blessing to our Thavam, we got Tirumurai. It has poetry, music, grammar, artistic literature with the blessing of Thiru Jnana Sambandha. It is our duty to preserve this.
Shri N. Swaminathan, Padma Shri Awardee, 2026.
That was N. Swaminathan, and definitely a Padma Shri Award winner. But don't go anywhere. We're trying to slip into a short break. Once you come back, we have the Nashik police that has filed a 1,500-page charge sheet in the TCS harassment and conversion case. More on that after a short break.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
Amity University has one of India's largest merit scholarship programs for brilliant students. Over 9,000 students with 90% plus in their 12th boards are currently at Amity, benefiting from the culture of academic excellence and focus on research and innovation. To be with like-minded students who want to be successful, apply at amity.edu/scholarships.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया? आया।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला
I want to start with some very disturbing pictures that have come in of a so-called right-wing leader. His name is Sushil Prajapati. He is accused of rape. After being in jail for 9 months, he gets bail, which means he's still an accused. He's an accused in a rape case. And the case goes back to 2025 when he took an LLB student to one place on the pretext of introducing her to a senior advocate. He drugged her drink and then he sexually assaulted her. He is still under trial for rape. He has not been released. But when he comes out, this rape accused, garlands are put on him as if he's some kind of a hero, as if he's achieved something great. Is a rapist to be celebrated, ladies and gentlemen? I ask you that question. And more than anyone else, I ask the right wing of this country. Very often I come on television and
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद के
सुबह।
वाओ मम्मा, क्या स्वाद है?
अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा heartfelt मसाला केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
प्यास बुझाए, ठंडक लाए, सबको भाए जीरा से। MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से।
जीरा सिप, असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
In fact, very often I believe the only way to get justice in India is a media trial. So there's no reason for the media, if it's doing a good job of a media trial, to be on the back foot. In fact, the courts should stop making these overarching remarks about media trial and contemplate about one very basic thing. With the greatest of respect to the courts, when the other institutions fail, when people get let down by the system, when even the judiciary does not seem to be listening or raising a noise about issues.
A very warm welcome, viewers. You're watching Republic TV. This is Shivam Dutt Mehta, and the top focus in this bulletin will be the Tisha death case. We'll get you all the latest updates on that because that is a Republic campaign and there has been a big impact on that. The second post-mortem has also been ordered, and also our top focus will be Marco Rubio's visit to India. We'll get you the latest updates on that too. But first up, let's have a look at the top headlines of the hour.
Headlines brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Tisha Sharma's husband Samar Singh, who was absconding for 10 days, arrested by Bhopal police. Accused Samar Singh suspended from practice as advocate by Bar Council of India. Nashik police files 1500-page charge sheet in TCS harassment and conversion case. And CBI arrests third mastermind Manisha Havaldar in connection with the NEET exam paper leak. The accused was behind leaking physics paper. And US Secretary of State Marco Rubio lands in Kolkata, after which he will be heading to Delhi for court meeting. Energy, security, trade and defense stocks in focus. Tulsi Gabbard steps down as Director of National Intelligence, cites husband's bone cancer diagnosis as the reason. And third fuel price hike in 10 days, petrol up by 87 paise, diesel by 91 paise. All right, viewers, let's begin this bulletin with a big breaking news development that we are getting in the Tisha death mystery case, where Samar, the husband of Tisha, to be presented in Bhopal court today. Big breaking news development. Samar to be presented in Bhopal court today. And AIIMS medical team to fly to Bhopal for the second post-mortem, that is the second autopsy. Big breaking news development coming in on the case that Republic has constantly followed, and there has been a big impact in the entire case, where the second post-mortem will be conducted by the AIIMS medical team, which will fly to Bhopal for the second autopsy. Now, this AIIMS medical team will be from Delhi, who will be flying to Bhopal because that would be a better option comparatively for the body to be taken to Delhi for the second post-mortem. And also, the order was to keep the body preserved till the time the autopsy is taking place. The autopsy will be happening. And also, the big development here of Samarth to be presented in Bhopal court today. He was on the run for a very long time and he has been taken into police custody. He wanted to surrender, but the police arrested him. Now, Samar Singh taken into police custody, and 10 days that too after his wife Tisha Sharma was found hanging at their home in Madhya Pradesh under mysterious circumstances. And this is the impact. This is the Republic impact, because we constantly have followed the story, and we confronted the mother-in-law also who was questioning us that, are you investigating investigating, and we told her that yes, we are doing our duty, we are doing a job, and this is the result. Now, Samar has been absconding since his wife's mysterious death on May 12 and emerged before the public on Friday as he reached the Jabalpur court to surrender himself. He should have reached to the Bhopal court and surrender to the Bhopal police, but he was arrested by the Bhopal police, and Samarth has been taken into custody by the police and taken to Bhopal to be handed over to Bhopal police. Big breaking news development coming in. All right, viewers, now the tragic death case of 33-year-old Tisha Sharma sent shockwaves across the nation. While powerful influences initially threatened to dilute the investigation, the relentless, uncompromising journalism of Republic Media Network has brought the traction this case needed. Now, Tisha's husband Samarth, who had been absconding for 10 days, has now come out and surrendered and arrested. He is in custody of the police. He is being transferred to Bhopal now. This is a big win for Tisha's family, and now Tisha is closer to getting justice. Take a listen to what the family has to say.
I would request you also have Trisha's father, Navnidhi Sharma ji, sitting with you. If this question could directly be put to him by the lawyers, and you know what they are saying. In fact, if he can hear us, Navnidhi Sharma ji, this is a very, very important point here.
Raman Malik, at least give some respect to Mr. Navnidhi Sharma, the father of Tisha. He's on the debate. If you don't mind, please don't heckle him. If you don't mind, don't heckle him. 1 week back, you heckled him. Not today, please. Yes.
We can actually move. If we can
Raman
actually...
ji, ये जो process बता रहे हैं,
We can't see him on the screen.
We can see him now. Yes.
ये process लोकायुक्त के अंडर में आता है. ये process आता है judiciary के अंतर्गत. ये process आता है उन एम्स में बैठे हुए डॉक्टरों के अंतर्गत. अगर वही आपके रक्षक हैं, जो वही बच्चक हैं, तो फिर किस प्रोसेस की आप बात कर रहे हैं? मेरा विनम्र निवेदन है, आपका कोई सगा अगर फंस जाता तो शायद आप अर्नब को, इस रिपब्लिक को बोलते हैं CJM, चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ मीडिया, क्योंकि यही बचाते हैं इस खतरनाक प्रोसेस से. ये तो हर क्राइम करने के बाद आपको प्रोसेस से मारते हैं. मेरी बेटी को मारा, फिर इस प्रोसेस ने मुझे रोज मारा. मेरा विनम्र निवेदन है, आप मेरे साथ आके खड़े होके देखिए ये कितना कष्टकारी प्रोसेस है. ये दिल चीर देने वाला प्रोसेस है. प्लीज मैडम जो बोल रही थी पैनल पे, प्रोसेस, मैं इस प्रोसेस, आप मेरे साथ आइए और समझिए इस प्रोसेस को. आइए प्लीज. आपने कभी सड़क पे नहीं आए, आप कभी धूप में नहीं लेटे होंगे, कड़कती धूप में. मैं लेटा हूं, मैं हार्ट का मरीज, लेटा हुआ हूं धूप में. मेरे मरने के चांसेस है, मेरे को हार्ट स्ट्रोक आया है. प्लीज आइए, प्लीज ज्वाइन मी. आई विल मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट प्रोसेस इज. प्लीज कम रमन सर, प्लीज कम मैडम, प्लीज कम विद मी एंड learn this process for the whole of your life. Learn this process.
Please don't heckle him.
What about that? He was tarnishing the image. She destroyed all the evidence.
मैं तो हाथ जोड़ के विनती कर रहा हूँ कि जिन अफसरों ने काम नहीं करा, आप उनको भी एक्यूज बनाइए.
अफसरों की बात ही नहीं है, यहाँ गिरिबाला सिंह की बात है.
किसके पास जाऊँ बताओ रमन साहब, किसके पास जाऊँ? मैं कहाँ नहीं गया हूँ.
अपील में तो डालो.
किसके, आपके पास आऊँ मैं? आपको बताऊँ मैं
भी
आप मुझे प्रोसेस दिलाइए. मुझे अभी एक प्रोसेस चाहिए, प्लीज दिलाइए प्रोसेस.
अफसरों का नाम
I need a panel.
डालो जिन्होंने काम नहीं करा.
प्रोसेस बताइए सर.
गुजारिश कर रहा हूं.
ये प्रोसेस आज हाई कोर्ट में दिखा है. आज हाई कोर्ट से सुप्रीम डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट में एक प्रोसेस दिखा है. आपने देखा ना, मेरे सम्माननीय वकील को मारा गया 35 इयर्स की एज में, 35 इयर्स की प्रैक्टिस में. इस प्रोसेस मार रहा है आपका. एक कमरे में प्रोटेक्टेड करा जा रहा है किस को. एक आप सोचिए, ये प्रोसेस है. आइए ना साथ में हमारे, प्लीज आइए, देखिए कैसा प्रोसेस है. फिर आप बताएंगे कि प्रोसेस को कौन तोड़ता है. ये CJM तोड़ते हैं, ये CJM,
शर्मा जी,
ये चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ मीडिया है, यही तोड़ते हैं इसको.
कि जिन लोगों ने अपना काम नहीं करा, शर्मा जी,
आप जिस इन्वेस्टिगेशन की बात कर रहे हैं, वो इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो कहाँ रहा है?
मैं आपको बात बताना चाहती हूँ.
इसीलिए लड़ रहे हैं कि इन्वेस्टिगेशन करो, इन्वेस्टिगेशन करो, इन्वेस्टिगेशन करो, और आप बोल रहे हैं कि इन्वेस्टिगेशन में सब निकलेगा. व्हाट इज दिस? वेयर इज द? आप उन लोगों को क्यों नहीं बोलते जिन इन्वेस्टिगेशन नहीं करते? हमको क्या बोल रहे हैं कि हमको इन्वेस्टिगेशन पे डिपेंड करना चाहिए? Where you?
Raman Malik is already on the back foot. Raman Malik.
Abhishek, you know, Anurag, I can hear the anger in what you are saying. Raman continues to say follow the process. But viewers, just for a minute, let this sink in. The father who lost his daughter, for 10 days he's not grieved. He's not grieved. I've been on the phone line with him every day. मुझे नहीं लगता इनको समय मिला है, ना इनके फौजी बेटों को समय मिला है टू रियली कम टू टर्म्स विद द रियलिटी. वो सिर्फ हर पिलर पोस्ट पे भाग रहे हैं. और जो इन्होंने शब्द कहा, चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ मीडिया, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, I also have been seeing such cases. You've also seen such cases. I clearly tell you what Navnidhi Sharma told me. If Arnab had not picked up this case 7 days ago, there was no media following it. This case could not have reached where it has today. We were the only channel who stuck it out and said, arrest Giribala. Today, the Solicitor General comes in the Madhya Pradesh High Court and says, arrest Giribala. So please understand, एक चीज होती है प्रोसेस, और जो नवनिधि शर्मा जी अपनी दर्दनाक बातें बता रहे हैं, उनकी वाइफ नहीं आ रही, अगर आप नोटिस करेंगे, हाँ उनके बच्चे आ रहे हैं, लेकिन वो तड़प रहे हैं, एक तड़प में वो बात निकल रही है उनकी.
All right, viewers, we are getting a big breaking news development, and this is about the border issue with West Bengal and Bangladesh. Now, Bangladeshi locals disrupted the border fencing in Bengal. Now, there was a tense standoff at the Bangladesh border as fencing begins. Now, Bangladeshi locals initially tried to stop the process. Later, the BGB arrived and attempted to prevent the BSF and the government survey officials from carrying out the land acquisition. However, the work continued despite the objections. Now, amid the tense situation, provocative exchanges took place between both the sides at the border. Now, by the evening, the atmosphere had become warlike, and BSF personnel were seen lying in the position at the border with guns aimed and ready. So this was a very tense situation. Now, this after a government change and the allowing of the land acquisition for the border fencing. Now, this has seriously affected the Bangladeshi locals who want the border to be open because of the trespassing and the illegal migration that takes place. The Bangladeshi locals were seen. This is the exclusive Republic story on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. First on Republic, exclusive story where Bangladeshi locals initially tried to stop the process, and later the Bangladesh border guards arrived and attempted to prevent the BSF, that is the Border Security Force, and the government survey officials from carrying out the land acquisition. However, the work continued despite the objections, and this was the tense situation, and provocative exchanges also took place between both the sides at the border. And by the evening time, the atmosphere had become almost warlike. The BSF personnel were seen ready in position at the border with the guns aimed and ready. This was a tense standoff situation at the border, at the India-Bangladesh border, where after the government has approved the fencing, the land acquisition, which was earlier delayed and denied by the previous government of Mamata Banerjee, and now in under the rule of Shuvendu Adhikari, under the rule of BJP, this has been allowed, and the fencing is going to begin. The land acquisition has been allowed by the government, and this is the reaction. This is what we are talking about. Bangladeshi locals, they came there near the border and they tried to disrupt the border fencing in Bengal, and there was a tense standoff at the Bangladesh border as the fencing began. And the Bangladeshi locals, initially, they were trying to stop the process. Later, the BGB arrived and they attempted to prevent the BSF and the government survey officials from carrying out the land acquisition, but undeterred, we did our duty. However, the work continued despite the objections amid the tense situation. Now, this is what happens when the government changes and you are on the right track, and there's a fencing, the work of fencing which has begun, and the Bangladeshis are severely impacted because of this. All right, so that was an exclusive story, a Republic exclusive story, a story from the Bangladesh border. Now let's move on to another big breaking news development. Now this is about the TCS harassment and conversion case. Here, there is a very big update in the entire story where Nashik police files 1500-page charge sheet in the TCS harassment and conversion case. Big breaking news development. On your screen, ladies and gentlemen, the charge sheet has been filed in this case, and the Nashik police have filed a very big, that is a 1500-page charge sheet in this entire case. Big breaking news development on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. A 1500-page charge sheet has been filed by the Nashik police in this case, in the conversion case, in the sexual harassment case. This is the first charge sheet. The police have named the accused also in this entire case. In the charge sheet, Danish Ejaz Sheikh, Tausif Bilal Attar, Nida Ejaz Khan, Matin Majid Patel, and based on the investigations into the FIR that was to the Diloli Camp Police Station. Big breaking news development coming in. That is months after the sexual harassment and religious conversion case, which involved the IT major TCS at its Nashik center. It snowballed into a very big issue, and now the police has finally filed a 1500-page charge sheet in the entire matter. The SIT of the Nashik police was investigating the entire matter, the sensitive case, and this case, which has been referred to as the corporate jihad, and in this action has been taken place. At least the charge sheet has now been filed, and it's a huge 1500-page charge sheet that has been filed. Now, police had registered 9 FIRs between March 26 to April 3rd, 1 at the Diloli camp, 8 at Mumbai Naka police stations. There were various complaints in this entire matter by 9 junior employees who have alleged sexual abuse, harassment and religious coercion in this case. So far, 8 arrests have been taken place. All right, for more details on this story, we have Revati with us. Revati, you have been tracking the story from day one, and now the charge sheet has been filed. The first charge sheet, 1500 pages. Over to you for more details.
Right, as you rightly mentioned, that the charge sheet in the Nashik PCS case has been filed by the Nashik SIT. Actually, this is the primary charge sheet which is being filed, and now the process of the final charge sheet is also under process. The main things which are included in the charge sheets includes that there are many evidences which are confiscated by the police. Also, it is mentioned that various important evidences like their mobile phones, WhatsApp chats and others are confiscated by the police in this particular matter. Also, the most important thing is that around 17 witnesses have recorded their statements in this particular matter. Also, as I mentioned earlier, this is a primary charge sheet which is filed by the Nashik SIT. Also, considering the seriousness of this matter, SIT was formed by the Nashik police and it was headed by the Commissioner of Nashik Police, Sandeep Karnik. Also, the most important thing here to be noted is that there are various sections which are slashed in this particular matter for the exploitation and harassment of women. Also, the most important thing here to be noted is that the bail application of all the accused is denied by the court. So now it will be important to see that what more details are there in the final charge sheet of this particular matter. Over to you.
All right, Revati, thanks a lot for the details in the story. So it's a very big development where a 1500-page charge sheet has been filed by the police in this entire investigation. Now let's move on to another top story. Now, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Thursday stated that Washington is actively engaged in discussions with India to significantly broaden energy cooperation, confirming that the strategic partnership will be a focal point during his visit. He is already in India. He has landed in Kolkata, will be heading to New Delhi. Now, the high-profile itinerary will see Rubio traveling across major Indian cities, which includes Kolkata, Agra, Jaipur and New Delhi. That is from today, May 23rd to 26th. The Secretary of State underlined Washington's keenness to strengthen India's energy security portfolio through diverse international channels, acknowledging New Delhi's proactive management of global energy pressures resulting from the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Listen in to what Foreign Affairs expert Rabinder Sachdeva has to say on Rubio's crucial visit.
Marco Rubio's visit to India is coming at a time when I think in the last 1 year, America-India relations have been at their most contentious. In the last 20 to 30 years, 20 years at least, there has never been a year as difficult in America-India relations as this last year was. The tariff wars, or the tariffs on India, sanctions for the Russian oil, and then Operation Sindoor and its associated optics and statements by President Trump. So the last year has been a very challenging year for US-India relations, without doubt. Marco Rubio is now coming at a time when both nations want to move past and make this year a better year, a more harmonious year in our relations. There are several topics which are pending for discussion when Rubio will be here. The issue is that the priorities are different for both at this point of time, somewhat. America wants trade access in India, market access in India. America wants India to buy more defense items, of course. America wants India to demonstrate how it can help it counter a rising China or a challenging China. That's what America wants, and some other things. What India wants is predictable and least trade tariffs. That's what we want. Secondly, we want America to reduce its tilt towards Pakistan, which over the last 1 year, it's evident America has tilted. So we want, no tariffs or least tariffs. We want American policy towards Pakistan to change. Those are our core interests. America wants India to open its markets. America wants India to purchase more of defense and agriculture, opening of agriculture markets in India. So there is a difference in the priorities between the two sides, which I hope will be taken up and common ground will be found on several of these. So therefore, this visit of Rubio is extremely important for a basic common minimum program going ahead for US-India relations. And FTA with America is, I think, still not near. Right now, we are talking a bilateral trade agreement, right? But yes, in this last 1 year, India has signed FTAs with some other countries or groups, especially the European Union, for example, right? So that shows to America that India is proceeding ahead, building up its additional pipelines of trade exchanges, because the tariffs, the sanctions on India are hampering the trade. So very much so, matters of trade will be utmost in discussion, without doubt. And also remember that the interim trade deal which we had, I think in February, which was 18% tariffs on India agreed upon. Now that tariff has been ruled illegal by the US courts, but still the tariffs are out there and there are investigations under Section 301, under Section 232, in which America will again impose tariffs via a different route. So what would be the contour of the emerging trade arrangement between the two countries will certainly be on top of agenda during Rubio's visit. And then, of course, the matter of Quad, because when he's here, and ostensibly he's coming for the Quad foreign ministers meeting. So what are the discussions in Quad, particularly with respect to supply chains for critical minerals and rare earths? That would be important discussion, as well as this meeting of the Quad of the foreign ministers will prepare the ground for the meeting of the Quad leaders down the line, because this year India is supposed to host the Quad. We were supposed to host the Quad last year. For some reason, the meeting did not happen, right? So this year, again, the Quad summit has to be held, and probably and should be President Trump should be coming also for that meeting, and the Japanese leader and the Australian leader. So this meeting of the ministers of the Quad countries would also do the homework for the scheduling and the agenda for the Quad leaders summit later in the year when Trump should come to India. So that would be another dimension of discussions during Rubio's visit. He will, of course, talk to India about reducing our purchase of Russian oil. Though right now they've given a 30-day waiver, but then in the long term, they want very much India to stop buying oil from Russia. So that would also be under discussions. And then, of course, the matter of, the Iran war and, of course, the matter of the Russia-Ukraine war. These would also be topics.
All right, viewers, it's time to slip into a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere because we have a lot more lined up after the break. Coming up, third fuel price hike in just 10 days. Petrol now up by 87 paise, diesel by 91 paise.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे.
Character, the taste of success.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से.
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा.
MTH.
I want to start with some very disturbing pictures that have come in of a so-called right-wing leader. His name is Sushil Prajapati. He is accused of
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट. ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े. चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े.
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार. विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार. क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला.
In fact, very often I believe the only way to get justice in India is a media trial. So there's no reason for the media, if it's doing a good job of a media trial, to be on the back foot. In fact, the courts should stop making these overarching remarks about media trial and contemplate about one very basic thing. With the greatest of respect to the courts, when the other institutions fail, when people get let down by the system, when even the judiciary does not seem to be listening or raising a noise about issues, like in the case of Tisha Sharma, who does the public look to for justice, for raising their voice, for bringing something that's utterly false, illegal or wrong to public attention? It is only and only the media. And today, therefore, we are doing a media trial in this specific case, ladies and gentlemen, of Tisha Sharma, the 33-year-old daughter-in-law of an ex-judge, in a case where the ex-judge and the ex-judge's advocate's son appear to be more than involved. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 questions tonight. And if they think it's a media trial, so be it. So be it. Why did the ex-judge in the case of Tisha Sharma, neither she nor her son call a police or an ambulance? What took them 57 minutes to bring the body down? Where are the 3 men who are seen in the video dragging Tisha's body, destroying evidence? What was the police doing? Did they question the house staff? Did they question the judge? Was Tisha carrying headphones in her bag, in her hand, or a rope? Where is it now? Where is that so-called belt that cops claim was used by her to commit suicide? Why was it hidden? The mother-in-law, the ex-judge, walks up calmly, while the body is being dragged down and evidence is being destroyed before the judge's eyes. Is that normal? Why don't the judges raise a hue and cry about it? Why don't the appellate courts take up this case suo motu? So people don't start believing that when an ex-judge is concerned, the victim will never get justice. Ladies and gentlemen, what was the ex-judge carrying in her hand when she went down? Where is all the CCTV footage?
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Viewers, very good morning. We are live and we are breaking up. Shivangi Shukla getting you the latest coming in, and Tisha's father has thanked Republic and thanked our editor-in-chief Ornab Goswami, because remember, Republic's investigation and continuous coverage, our campaign to bring Tisha justice has set the ball rolling. Samar Singh, the husband, has been arrested and many developments are coming in. We'll get to this and much more coming right up. But the headlines first. Let's get started.
Headlines brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Tisha Sharma's husband Samar Singh, who was absconding for 10 days, arrested by Bhopal police. Accused Samar Singh suspended from practice as advocate by Bar Council of India. Nashik police files 1,500-page charge sheet in TCS harassment and conversion case. CBI arrests third mastermind Manisha Havaldar in connection with a NEET exam paper leak. The accused was behind leaking the physics paper. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio lands in Kolkata, after which he will head to Delhi for Quad meeting. Energy, security, trade and defense talks on focus. Tulsi Gabbard steps down as the Director of National Intelligence, cites husband's bone cancer diagnosis. Third fuel price hike by 10 days, petrol up by 0.87 rupees, diesel up by 91 paise and petrol up by 87 paise. Hello viewers, let's tell you the big breaking news, what we have been tracking the entire day today. The fuel prices have been hiked again, third time this time in a short period. Petrol has risen by 87 paise, diesel by 91 paise, third fuel price hike. Petrol, diesel gets costlier. Petrol prices up by rupees 0.87 per litre. Diesel also hiked by 0.91 rupees per litre. So back-to-back updates coming in here. On Republic TV, we see that the price hike has come in once again. Let's put out some of those details for you. Yes, on your screen, you can see that this is the cities on one hand, Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, and the price hike. Okay, these are diesel. These are diesel prices now. Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, and Jammu. You can see the price hike May 14 to May 23rd. Definitely a big increase there when it comes to the prices. So petrol and diesel prices have been hiked for third time in this month itself amid the Middle East crisis. State-run fuel retailers have raised petrol and diesel prices by less than 1 rupee per litre, marking the third hike this month as the government seeks to offset losses stemming from elevated crude oil prices amid the Iran conflict. Okay, let's go straight across to the big breaking news coming in right now.
Samarth to be presented in Bhopal court. Let's move ahead to the other story we are tracking, that is Justice for Tisha campaign. We're getting some updates coming in here on Republic TV. Let's go to that now. Samarth to be presented in Bhopal court today. AIMS medical team to fly to Bhopal for the second autopsy. Huge updates coming in here on Republic TV. And yesterday we showed you those dramatic visuals of Tisha's husband, late Tisha's husband Samar Singh, arrested after 10 days on the run. We showed you those dramatic visuals. Samar evaded the police for 10 days since his wife, late Tisha, was found hanging at their home in Bhopal. Samar Singh has finally been arrested. Tisha's family has alleged she was harassed for dowry and demanded strict action against Samarth and his mother, retired Judge Giribala Singh. Samarth, a lawyer, went to Jabalpur court to surrender hours after withdrawing his anticipatory bail application in the Madhya Pradesh High Court.
तरीके से कोई सीलिंग नहीं है और वही गिरिबाला जिस पर परिवार वाले आरोप लगा रहे हैं कि सबूत जो है वो मिटाए जा सकते हैं गिरिबाला द्वारा, वो गिरिबाला जो है वो अभी बेल पर है। सोमवार को उसी बेल पर जो है वो सुनवाई होने जा रही है। सवाल ये बना हुआ है कि गिरिबाला, जिन्हें 3 बार, आई रिपीट 3 बार जो है पुलिस ने नोटिस दिया।
Okay, that was our correspondents who are reporting live for us. Yes, okay, so that was Palaka getting us all those details, and was reported right outside the residence of Giribala. Okay, that is the residence of Giribala, and this, what we are showing you, is the residence of the mother-in-law Giribala and Samar. This is the matrimonial home, by the way, of late Tisha. Exclusive pictures coming in. These are pictures from outside Giribala's house. Giribala is the mother-in-law of late Tisha, and this is exactly the matrimonial home of Tisha. So back-to-back updates coming in here on Republic TV, viewers. We continue our relentless coverage, and the latest breaking news that we're getting for you is that Samarth will be presented soon in the Bhopal court, and the AIMS medical team will be flying to Bhopal for the second autopsy. Exclusive pictures coming only on Republic TV. From outside, okay, these are pictures coming in from outside the police station. So these are all the latest updates that we are getting for our viewers. Back-to-back updates coming in here on Republic TV. So now the next update for you is that very soon, Samarth will be presented in Bhopal court today. Yesterday we saw highly dramatic visuals which had come in yesterday. Before Samarth was arrested, CBI has taken over the case. Samarth was taken into custody in Jabalpur after 10 days of evading arrest, following the court's rejection of his surrender attempt there. The CBI has stepped in as well. The Madhya Pradesh government has transferred the investigation into Tisha's death to the CBI amid the allegations of bias and delay. Also, let's tell you about the autopsy. That's a third update. Talking about the autopsy, remember that the family wanted a second post-mortem to be done. A fresh autopsy has been ordered. The High Court has approved a second post-mortem at AIMS Bhopal by a Delhi team following the family's concerns over the first report. So these are some of the updates that we're getting for you. These are updates we're getting for you because now our campaign to bring Tisha justice has set the ball rolling. Exclusive pictures coming in here on Republic TV. 2 pictures. Left-hand side, right outside the police station. Right-hand side is the matrimonial home of late Tisha. This is Giribala, the mother-in-law's house. Yesterday, we showed you these dramatic visuals of Samarth, who's a lawyer and husband of Tisha, being arrested in Jabalpur after a court there refused his surrender, directing him to Bhopal instead. Let's go to Shambhavi, who's joining us. Shambhavi, what can we expect today? Take our viewers through the latest. Which are the top developments we can expect today in the Tisha death case investigation?
Well, the biggest development today is that Samarth is going to be produced before the district court, before the trial court here, as directed by the High Court of Jabalpur yesterday. What actually happened, just for a little bit of brief for our viewers, the court yesterday, there were 3 cases in court. One was the anticipatory bail, which was filed by Samar Singh. Another one was the cancellation of anticipatory bail, which was filed by Tushar's families, and the third one was the demand for a second post-mortem. Now, what happened in the demand for a second post-mortem? That finally got approved. The Republic has been campaigning extensively for justice for Tushar and has been demanding a second post-mortem as well as cancellation for of Giribala's anticipatory bail. We got a win in first one where the second post-mortem was approved. Second one was the anticipatory bail, cancellation of anticipatory bail of Giribala, where a notice was issued to Giribala. The case is set to be heard on Monday. The third case was the anticipatory bail application of Samarth. Now, the court asked Samarth to withdraw his application, to withdraw his anticipatory bail application and surrender before the trial court of Bhopal or the investigating officer in the case. And Samarth appeared before the court, tried to surrender before the court yesterday, but the DJ clearly refused, that they don't have the jurisdiction for the same, after which the Bhopal police took custody of Samarth and brought Samarth to Bhopal very late in the night, early in the morning. And now Samar Singh is set to be produced before the trial court. The trial court just a couple of days ago has said that the Samar Singh needs to be produced before the court on 23rd of May. Today is 23rd of May. We'll see what will happen. Now, ideally, now that the police has taken custody of Samar Singh, there must have been custodial interrogation. There will be custodial interrogation. And now that they'll be produced, police is going to ask for remand. Police is going to ask for police custody.
Hold on for a second there. Yes. Hold on for a second there. We're getting some more breaking news. Shambhavi, breaking news coming in. Samarth's medical examination will be conducted at the JP Hospital in Bhopal, after which the team will produce him before the court. Big updates coming in here on Republic TV. Yes, Shambhavi, coming across to you. Now we know the medical examination will be conducted in Bhopal of Samarth, and then he will be produced before the court.
Well, yes, that's the standard procedure. Once the police takes custody of the accused in the matter, and then the custodial interrogation continues before producing them in the court. They first need to take the accused for a medical test. Usually, that is how it works, and that is the standard of procedure. So we know that before being produced in the court, Samarth will be taken to a local hospital, to a local government hospital, where his medical test will be done, and only once after it is completed, he will be then produced before the court, where the police is going to ask for a police custody for a certain number of days. We'll see what their exact fare is once the case starts. And after they've asked for police custody, he will be taken into custody, either judicial custody or police custody. We'll see what exactly happens in court. If the court
points towards police custody or judicial custody, Shivangi.
Right. Okay. We're sticking on with all these updates coming in. Okay. Now we also know that the BCI, the Bar Council, has suspended license of Samarth over the Tisha Sharma death case. Finally, Shambhavi, this has happened, and we remember our editor-in-chief, Arnav Goswami, speak about this. He brought this exact point up, that his license should be suspended. It's a big Republic impact. Yes, Shambhavi.
Definitely, Shivangi. In this case, that we know that Republic has been campaigning extensively for 10 days now, and we had several demands. A lot of them have been acted upon. A lot of them have been fulfilled. One of our demands was to initiate an administrative inquiry in Giribala's case, Giribala Singh's case, and that was initiated. The MP government wrote to the Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission that they should initiate an administrative inquiry and submit a report at the earliest in Giribala Singh's case and her capacity to work as a president of the Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. And another one of our demands was asked for a second post-mortem. That also got approved, that also got accepted just yesterday. A huge win for the family and for Republic as well. Apart from that, we were also asking for the Bar Council, for the legal fraternity, for the legal body of the country to cancel
and to suspend Samar Singh's license, given that there's very severe and serious allegations, Shivangi, in this case. There's dowry harassment case, mental cruelty, abuse. These are the sections, these are the charges that has been leveled against both the mother and son duo. So that becomes a natural, ordinary, obvious step. So you can see that.
Shambhavi, hold on for a second there.
हमारा काम है, तरीका आप हमें मत सिखाइए, हमारा काम है, मीडिया का काम है सर, सवाल पूछना और आप जवाब नहीं देना।
जानना चाह रहे हैं हम, ये जानना चाह रहे हैं आप लोग क्या आगे क्या स्टैंड लेने वाले हैं? आप ले लिया ना, सरेंडर कर दिया उन्होंने।
मंडे को गिरिबाला जो है उनकी एंटिसिपेटेड बेल को लेकर सुनवाई।
एंटिसिपेटरी आप अपने है ना, कहां पर है? घर पे। एक सेकंड, क्या वो खुद अपना केस लड़ रहे हैं?
त्रिशा के परिवार वाले कह रहे हैं कि
क्या गिरिबाला जी खुद अपना केस लड़ रही हैं? प्लीज किसको जवाब देना पहले डिसाइड कर लो आप लोग। बताइए मैडम को किसने बोला कि एंटिसिपेटरी बेल पे? वो ऑलरेडी बेल पे हैं।
नहीं सुनवाई है सोमवार को, ये पूछ रही हूँ मैं।
नोटिस इशू हुए हैं वो देखिए। सर क्या वो केस को लेकर क्या वो अपना केस लड़ रही है? समर्थ के लेकर, क्योंकि उन्हें तो कोर्ट में पेश होना है ना, आज करेगी पुलिस, तो आप बेल के लिए लगेंगे।
देखिए आप देख सकते हैं अंदर वकीलों की जो पूरी टीम है वो अभी अंदर जो है वो।
All right, we're getting some reactions coming in. Our team of reporters are outside Giribala's house and we're trying to get some answers there. We'll try to go across to Shambhavi as well. If we have Shambhavi, we'll try to go across to Shambhavi because this story is moving at extremely fast pace. Tisha Sharma's father has stated that the first step towards justice has been taken in the case of Tisha. This comes as many important developments are taking place simultaneously in the case, starting with the order of a CBI probe, the instruction for a second post-mortem, and the withdrawal of the bail plea of accused Samar Singh. So many things are happening in this case. But if we have to summarize, viewers, and if you're watching us, what is happening is that Republic's relentless coverage and a campaign to bring Tisha justice has got the ball rolling. Samar, the husband, has been arrested. And we have a lot of other developments that will be coming in later in the day. Samarth will be presented in Bhopal court today, and AIMS medical team will be flying to Bhopal for the second autopsy. Getting you some more breaking news coming in right now on Republic TV. CBI to conduct on-site investigation from scratch. Big updates coming in here. Let's go to the second set of the breaking updates we have for you. Okay, CBI, we remember there was a big win. Big win for the family, because the family, when speaking to Republic, the family of Tisha, had said they want CBI to step in. And after Republic's relentless coverage, we also pushed from our end to bring justice for Tisha. You also helped us by signing the petition. The CBI will be conducting on-site investigation from scratch. Back-to-back updates coming in here on Republic TV. CBI will be conducting the fresh investigation in the Tisha case. Let's go to Shambhavi. Shambhavi, now that the CBI will be conducting the investigation from scratch, by the way, from scratch, the CBI will be looking at all the documents. They can investigate the documents, the evidence, all the accused involved. Yes, go ahead. Shambhavi.
Shivangi, that was very well needed that the entire probe, the entire investigation starts from scratch, because when we see at various documents, at various aspects of this entire investigation, there are so many loopholes, there's so many discrepancies, there's so many things which are wrong. And that is, I'll start with something very basic but very important. Even in FIR at two different places, the age of the victim has been written different. At one place it's 31, at one place it's 33 in the same FIR, by the way. Then if we come to the postmortem report, the height of the victim has been changed by at least 8 to 10 centimeters. That is a lot, especially in a case we are alleging that a person has hung herself. So that height becomes very crucial, because then the height of the ceiling, the amount of space that they would need to hang themselves, a lot of technicalities that even a common man would understand. You don't need a doctor to understand these things. Apart from these, even the family shared the color of the undergarment garments of the victim were also changed in the post-mortem report. What could possibly be the reason to do something like that, which was personally verified by Major Harshit, that is Tisha's brother's wife in the case. So such cases, the area was not sealed for the longest time. The area where this actually happened, the spot, was not sealed for the longest time. And what reason was given to the family? That it cannot be sealed because it's an open space. Does that open space does not have a staircase or a door? Is it impossible for them to seal a place? So there are so many issues, there's so many discrepancies, there's so many irregularities in the case, that it was very, very much needed that a case starts from scratch, that the probe starts from scratch, that the investigation is started from scratch, so that nothing in the case is left or is missed by the eyes.
Yes. I'm going to go across to Abhishek, who's joining us live. Abhishek is joining us live. Abhishek, if you can hear me, what is happening? You're outside a police station now. What can we expect?
बिल्कुल शिवानी, सबसे पहले मैं आपको बता दूं मेरी मौजूदगी कटारा हिल्स पुलिस स्टेशन के बाहर है। यहीं पर जो है आरोपी समर सिंह को रखा गया। कल देर रात 2 बजे के आसपास आरोपी समर सिंह को भोपाल में स्थित कटारा हिल्स पुलिस स्टेशन लाया गया। जबलपुर से उसके कपड़े चेंज करवा के रात 2 बजे तक पुलिस की टीम उसे यहीं लेकर पहुंची है और सुरक्षा व्यवस्था यहाँ पर काफ़ी ज़्यादा जो है बढ़ा दी गई है। और जो जानकारियाँ फिलहाल मिल पा रही हैं वो ये है कि 1 से 2 घंटे के बीच में पुलिस की टीम जो है वो आरोपी समर सिंह को लेकर यहाँ से निकलेगी और उसके बाद सीधे आरोपी को भोपाल में स्थित जेपी हॉस्पिटल ले जाया जाएगा। एक बार तस्वीरें दिखाऊंगा मैं अपने सहयोगी से कहूँगा तस्वीरें दिखा दे कि गाड़ियाँ जो है वो आना शुरू हो चुकी हैं। ये वो गाड़ियां इसी गाड़ी में जो है समर सिंह को लेकर जाया जाएगा। तस्वीरों में आप देखिए किस तरीके से यहाँ पर पुलिस की जो गाड़ियां हैं वो अब आना शुरू हो चुकी हैं। थाना प्रभारी की एक गाड़ी है जो कि अब कटारा हिल्स थाने पहुंच चुकी है और अब तैयारियां जो हैं वो शिवानी आप समझिए कि अब बिल्कुल अपने अंतिम चरणों पे हैं कि आरोपी समर सिंह को लेकर यहाँ से पुलिस की टीम जो है वो निकलेगी और करीब 1 से 2 घंटे का समय जिस तरीके से मैंने पहले जिक्र किया और उसके बाद जो है आरोपी समर सिंह को जो है जेपी हॉस्पिटल भोपाल ले जाया जाएगा, जहाँ सबसे पहले उसका मेडिकल चेकअप होगा। मेडिकल होने के बाद जो है पुलिस की टीम आरोपी समर सिंह को लेकर कोर्ट पहुंचेगी, भोपाल कोर्ट पहुंचेगी। भोपाल कोर्ट में आरोपी को पेश किया जाएगा और वहां से पुलिस की टीम जो है आरोपी समर सिंह के रिमांड जो है उसकी मांग करेगी। ये तस्वीरें देखिए आप, गाड़ी अंदर जा चुकी है, गाड़ी जो है थाना परिसर के अंदर जाके अब लग चुकी है और पुलिस की टीम भी आप देखिए किस तरीके से बड़ी संख्या में यहाँ पर करीब दर्जन भर से अधिक पुलिस कर्मी जो है वो नजर आ रहे हैं और अब तैयारियां पूरी की जा रही हैं कि किसी भी वक्त अब जो है आरोपी समर सिंह को लेकर यहाँ पुलिस की टीम निकलेगी। ये तस्वीरें हैं आप देखिए। अमूमन अगर कटारा हिल्स थाने को लेकर बात करें तो अमूमन ये शांत इलाका माना जाता है। यहाँ पर कुछ क्राइम के उतने खास जो उस तरीके से केसेस नहीं आते, लेकिन आज यहाँ हलचल बहुत ज़्यादा है क्योंकि जिस तरीके से आरोपी समर सिंह को रखा गया है इस थाने में और अब तैयारियां भी जो है वो लगातार पुलिस टीम के द्वारा की जा रही हैं और किसी भी वक्त जो है पुलिस यहाँ से लेकर निकलेगी आरोपी समर सिंह को। गाड़ी थाना परिसर के अंदर इस वक्त लगती हुई लगातार ये तस्वीरें हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं। बैरिकेड यहाँ पर लगाए गए, मीडिया पर्सन्स को जो है अंदर नहीं आने दिया जा रहा और अन्य जो आम लोग हैं उन्हें भी फिलहाल जो है पाबंदी है अंदर जाने के लिए सिक्योरिटी रीजंस की वजह से, क्योंकि जाहिर तौर पर देखिए शिवानगी एक हाई प्रोफाइल केस ये बन चुका है क्योंकि पूरे देश की निगाहें इस पर टिकी हुई और रिपब्लिक मीडिया लगातार जो है इसको लेकर अपडेट सच जो है वो अपने दर्शकों तक पहुंचाता रहा है, दिखाता रहा है और इसी कड़ी में अब आप देखिए समर्थ जो है उसने सरेंडर किया है पुलिस के सामने और अब जो है सरेंडर करने के बाद कटारा हिल्स थाने से पुलिस की टीम आरोपी समर्थ को लेकर निकलेगी जेपी हॉस्पिटल यहां से जाया जाएगा। जो अपडेट्स फिलहाल मिल पाई हैं उसके अनुसार जेपी हॉस्पिटल में मेडिकल चेकअप के बाद भोपाल में कोर्ट में उसे पेश किया जाएगा और कोर्ट में पेशी के बाद पुलिस की टीम जो है वो रिमांड मांगेगी। जी शिवानगी।
That's right. Okay. So Samarth's medical examination will be done at JB Hospital in Bhopal, after which the team will produce him before the court. So court में कब produce होंगे? When will Samarth be produced before the court? Yes, Abhishek.
जी शिवानगी, देखिए फिलहाल इसको लेकर कोई तय समय जो है निकलकर सामने नहीं आया क्योंकि अभी भी पुलिस की टीम ये बता नहीं रही है कि समर्थ को लेकर कब निकलेंगे यहाँ से। उसके हिसाब से ये चीज़ें जो है तय हो पाएंगी क्योंकि अगर 11 से 12 बजे के बीच में पुलिस की टीम लेकर यहाँ से निकलती है तो आप ये समझिए जेपी हॉस्पिटल की दूरी यहाँ से करीब आधे घंटे के आसपास की है और फिर इसके बाद मेडिकल चेकअप जो है वो भी प्रायोरिटी बेसिस पर यहाँ पर उस समर्थ का होगा तो उसमें भी करीब 1 घंटे के आसपास का समय लगेगा और फिर वहाँ से कोर्ट जाना। तो आप ये समझिए कि लंच के बाद आफ्टर लंच जो है कोर्ट में समर्थ को पेश किया जाएगा। लेकिन फिलहाल पुलिस की टीम से भी भी हमने ऑफ द कैमरा बात करने की कोशिश की कि अगर वो कुछ बता पाए हमें कि किस तरीके से यहाँ पर समर सिंह को लेकर जाया जाएगा, लेकिन जाहिर तौर पर हाई प्रोफाइल केस होने की वजह से पुलिस की टीम भी इस विषय में कुछ भी कहने से बचती नजर आ रही है और कुछ भी वो इस पर टिप्पणी जो है वो नहीं कर रहे हैं। लेकिन हाँ, यहाँ पर पुलिस की हलचल जो अभी कुछ देर पहले अगर बात करें श्रीमान की बढ़ गई है। कुछ और यहाँ पर अगर पुलिस के जवानों को लेकर बात करें, उनकी जो है उनका आने जाने का सिलसिला लगातार जारी है और दूसरी ओर जो गाड़ियाँ जो हैं जिसमें समर्थ को लेकर जाया जाएगा, वो गाड़ियाँ भी अभी कुछ देर पहले यहाँ थाने पहुंची हैं। तो ऐसे में तैयारियां जो पुलिस टीम के द्वारा पूरी यहाँ पर इस वक्त की जा रही है अपनी तरफ से। लेकिन हाँ, फिलहाल तय समय नहीं बताया गया क्लियरली कि कितने बजे तक जो है पेश किया जाएगा, लेकिन अपडेट्स जो मिल पाई हैं तो उसके हिसाब से यही है कि आफ्टर लंच जो है उसे कोर्ट में पेश किया जाएगा। जी।
All right. Well, thank you, Abhishek, for getting us all those details. Abhishek reporting live for us outside the police station. Samarth will be produced in court today. Republic will be on top of every update. Tisha Sharma's husband, Samar Singh, who was absconding for 10 whole days, was arrested by the Bhopal police to be produced in court later in the day. Stay tuned with Republic. We'll get you every second as we continue our campaign to bring Tisha justice.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा और मसाला।
जब तक लाजवाब न बन जाए उसे नहीं इत्मीनान है, तभी तो रिचमैन बनना नहीं आसान है।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है। स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
I want to start with some very disturbing pictures that have come in of a so-called right-wing leader. His name is Sushil Prajapati. He's accused of rape. After being in jail for 9 months, he gets bail, which means he's still an accused. He's an accused in a rape case. And the case goes back to 2025 when he took an LLB student to one place on the pretext of introducing her to a senior advocate. He drugged her drink and then he sexually assaulted her. He is still under trial for rape. He has not been released. But when he comes out, this rape accused, garlands are put on him as if he's some kind of a hero, as if he's achieved something great. Is a rapist to be celebrated, ladies and gentlemen? I ask you that question. And more than anyone else, I ask the right wing of this country. Very often I come on television and I say, yes, on several issues, I'm happy to be called a right-winger. But ladies and gentlemen, let me put it clearly. You cannot let a person like this man, this Sushil Prajapati, a leader of the Hindu Yuva Vahini, a local thug, a man accused of rape, you cannot celebrate his act of rape or celebrate the fact that the rapist is out on bail. If that is the message we want to send to our society, and if all the BJP leaders want to be quiet about it, I want to ask them, why are they quiet about this? Why are they quiet? In the silence of the BJP leaders, is there a tacit support to this person? Is there a feeling that anyone who wears or puts a, proclaims that he is from a so-called Hindu organization, that he will be allowed to get away with absolutely everything, including an act of rape? Is there a feeling that this man, do right-wingers feel, this man, this accused rapist is one of our own? So hence, regardless of what happens, one of our own should never be accused. It's like all those people, those radical Islamists who say that as long as the act of murder or crime of terrorism is carried out by a Muslim, it must be defended. This very thought, ladies and gentlemen, is completely unacceptable. Within hours of Tisha's death, as per the call detail records of this terrible person called Giri Bala Singh, some judge who thought she's a judge, judges will get away she made over 40 calls after the death of her daughter-in-law, many of them to judges. Why was she calling judges? She made 48 calls. 9 calls to a district judge in one day, 3 calls to Samarth. She also called her absconding son 3 times.
Court orders Samarth to withdraw his bail plea. That's the big breaking news that's now coming in. His counsel submits he will surrender before the concerned court in 5 days. Examined at that time, now finally after Republic's pressure, Samar Singh is going to finally be surrendering. And the court has now got the biggest law officer in the country, Tushar Mehta, to take on this case and say, we oppose Giribala Singh's bail.
अब तक जो पीएम रिपोर्ट जिस भी फॉरेंसिक ने देखी थी, एक्सपर्ट ने, सबने उसको रिजेक्ट किया था. सो वी बिलीव कि अच्छे एक्सपर्ट्स हमको मिलेंगे एंड हमको चांस मिलेगा सच्चाई जानने का. आज उनको समझ में आ गया कि अब आगे चल नहीं पाएगा ऐसा काम. तो पहले उन्होंने अप्लाई किया और फिर डर से हमारे फिर सरेंडर करना पड़ रहा है.
Headlines brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Viewers, top headlines. Tisha Sharma's husband Samar Singh, who was absconding for 10 days, arrested by the Bhopal police. Accused Samar Singh suspended from practice as advocate by the Bar Council of India. Nashik police files 1,500-page charge sheet in the TCS harassment and conversion case. CBI arrests third mastermind Manisha Havaldar in connection with the NEET exam paper leak. The accused was behind leaking the physics paper. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio lands in Kolkata, after which he will head to Delhi for court meeting. Energy security and trade and defense talks on focus. Tulsi Gabbard steps down as Director of National Intelligence, cites husband's bone cancer diagnosis. And third fuel price hike in 10 days, petrol up by 87 paise, diesel up by 91 paise. So we are live and breaking this Saturday morning. I'm Shivangi Shukla, getting you the latest. Let's give you the big update for you. Republic questioned Giribala. That is right, Giribala, the mother-in-law of Tushar's lawyers, as they arrived at her home a few minutes earlier. So we had cut across those pictures where our team of reporters is right outside the mother-in-law's house, the matrimonial home of Tisha. And we questioned the lawyer about the alleged evidence tampering and the bail application moved by Giribala. We'll take a look at how these lawyers are responding and what really happened, the entire sequence of events, how they played out in real time. These are the questions that Republic team is asking.
आप सर मीडिया को सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं, आप कोई भी बयान का जवाब नहीं दे रहे। सर मुंह अगर माइक ले लोगे तो मुंह के आगे ही माइक रखेंगे।
मैडम हैव सम मैनर्स।
सर हमारा काम है।
नहीं इस तरीका नहीं है कि आप
तरीका आप हमें मत सिखाइए, हमारा काम है, मीडिया का काम है सर, सवाल पूछना और आप जवाब नहीं दे।
क्या जानना चाह रहे हैं?
हम ये जानना चाह रहे हैं आप लोग क्या आगे क्या स्टैंड लेने वाले हैं?
ले लिया ना, सरेंडर कर दिया उन्होंने।
मंडे को गिरिबाला जो है उनकी एंटिसिपेटेड बेल को लेकर सुनवाई।
एंटिसिपेटरी आप अपने है ना? घर पे एक सेकंड, हम लोग क्या वो खुद अपना केस लड़ रहे हैं? मेरी बात
टिशा के परिवार वाले कह रहे हैं कि गिरिबाला
करके बोलिए।
क्या गिरिबाला जी खुद अपना केस लड़ रही हैं?
प्लीज किसको जवाब देना पहले डिसाइड कर लो आप लोग। मैडम को किसने बोला कि एंटिसिपेटरी बेल पे? वो ऑलरेडी बेल पे हैं।
नहीं सुनवाई है सोमवार को, ये पूछ रही हूँ मैं।
नोटिस इशू हुए हैं वो देखिए।
सर क्या वो क्या वो अपना केस खुद लड़ रही हैं? समर्थ के लेकर, क्योंकि उन्हें तो कोर्ट में पेश होना है ना, आज करेगी पुलिस।
Viewers, let's move ahead right now. The U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has stated that Washington is actively engaged in discussions with India to significantly broaden energy cooperation, confirming that the strategic partnership will be a focal point during his upcoming official visit to New Delhi. The high-profile itinerary will see Rubio traveling across major Indian cities, including Kolkata, Agra, Jaipur, and New Delhi from May 23rd to 26. The Secretary of State underlined Washington's keenness to strengthen India's energy security portfolio through diverse international channels, acknowledging New Delhi's proactive management of global energy pressures resulting from the closure of Strait of Hormuz. Listen in to what Foreign Affairs expert Robinder Sachdev has to say on Rubio's crucial visit.
Marco Rubio's visit to India is coming at a time when I think in the last 1 year, America-India relations have been at their most contentious. In the last 20 to 30 years, 20 years at least, there has never been a year as difficult in America-India relations as this last year was. The tariff wars, or the tariffs on India, sanctions for the Russian oil, and then Operation Sindoor and its associated optics and statements by President Trump. So the last year has been a very challenging year for US-India relations, without doubt. Marco Rubio is now coming at a time when both nations want to move past and make this year a better year, a more harmonious year in our relations. There are several topics which are pending for discussion when Rubio will be here. The issue is that the priorities are different for both at this point of time, somewhat. America wants trade access in India, market access in India. America wants India to buy more defense items, of course. America wants India to demonstrate how it can help it counter a rising China or a challenging China. That's what America wants, and some other things. What India wants is predictable and least trade tariffs. That's what we want. Secondly, we want America to reduce its tilt towards Pakistan, which over the last 1 year, it's evident America has tilted. So we want, no tariffs or least tariffs. We want American policy towards Pakistan to change. Those are our core interests. America wants India to open its markets. America wants India to purchase more of defense and agriculture, opening of agriculture markets in India. So there is a difference in the priorities between the two sides, which I hope will be taken up and common ground will be found on several of these. So therefore, this visit of Rubio is extremely important for a basic common minimum program going ahead for US-India relations. An FTA with America is, I think, still not near. Right now, we are talking a bilateral trade agreement, right? But yes, in this last 1 year, India has signed FTAs with some other countries or groups, especially the European Union, for example, right? So that shows to America that India is proceeding ahead, building up its additional pipelines of trade exchanges, because the tariffs, sanctions on India are hampering the trade. So very much so, matters of trade will be utmost in discussion, without doubt. And also remember that the interim trade deal which we had, I think in February, which was 18% tariffs on India agreed upon. Now that tariff has been ruled illegal by the US courts, but still the tariffs are out there and there are investigations under Section 301, under Section 232, in which America will again impose tariffs via a different route. So what would be the contour of the emerging trade arrangement between the two countries will certainly be on top of agenda during Rubio's visit. And then, of course, the matter of Quad, because when he's here, and ostensibly he's coming for the Quad foreign ministers meeting. So what are the discussions in Quad, particularly with respect to supply chains for critical minerals and rare earths? That would be important discussion, as well as this meeting of the Quad of the foreign ministers will prepare the ground for the meeting of the Quad leaders down the line, because this year India is supposed to host the Quad. We were supposed to host the Quad last year. For some reason, the meeting did not happen, right? So this year, again, the Quad summit has to be held, and probably and should be President Trump should be coming also for that meeting, and the Japanese leader and the Australian leader. So this meeting of the ministers of the Quad countries would also do the homework for the scheduling and the agenda for the Quad leaders summit later in the year when Trump should come to India. So that would be another dimension of discussions during Rubio's visit. He will, of course, talk to India about reducing our purchase of Russian oil. Though right now they've given a 30-day waiver, but then in the long term, they want very much India to stop buying oil from Russia. So that would also be under discussions. And then, of course, the matter of, the Iran war, and of course, the matter of the Russia-Ukraine war. These would also be topics.
All right, viewers, getting you big updates coming in. Republic has accessed the second autopsy order copy, the Tisha Sharma case, second autopsy ordered by Jabalpur High Court. Order states Professor Dinesh Rao from AIIMS Jammu will be heading the team that will be doing the second autopsy. So big updates coming in here on Republic TV, and huge updates. We will try to, of course, go ahead to our colleague in a short while from now to understand why this is important, because the family had asked for a second autopsy, and we also know the videography of the post-mortem shall also be done for transparency. Huge updates coming in here on Republic TV. I want to go straight across to my colleague who's joining us right now, Shivam. Shivam, coming across to you. We have the entire order there, so please read out for us what that order copy says. It says very clearly the report must be submitted in a sealed envelope to the investigating agency. Videography of the post-mortem is also ordered for transparency. We have the entire copy order. What are the main points here? This is huge coming in.
Yeah, Shivangi, we have the order copy, and I would request my cameraman to zoom into the order copy so that we can clearly establish that this is first on Republic exclusive, because we are the one who have been tracking this story from day one. And repeatedly, the father of the deceased, that is Mr. Navnidhi Sharma, had been demanding that a second autopsy should be done because there was lack of trust. There was a clear trust deficit in this entire case, and they were demanding from day one that first, there should be a CBI probe, and second, there should be a second autopsy that should happen in this case. Now, Shivangi, you very well understand the entire matter, where the main belt that was used in the crime was not submitted by the investigative officer initially when the probe began, when the first post-mortem took place, and also the body was decomposing, and the family was continuously demanding that a second post-mortem should happen. And just yesterday, this was ordered, which was a big Republic impact and a big victory for the family, also a step towards becoming victorious in the entire matter. Now, I would like to read the order copy, and it clearly states that Shri Navnidhi Sharma, the father of the deceased, is present in person before this court, and the writ petition has been filed by him. And also, I would like to go on to the sections. It mentions 82, 85, 35 of the BNS Section 2023, Section 3 and 4 of Dowry Prohibition Act to immediately direct the respondents number 1 and to 4 to secure and preserve the mortal remains of the deceased, that is Srimati Tisha Sharma in this case, which is lying at the mortuary in AIIMS Bhopal, and restrain them from releasing the body for cremation, burial or otherwise disposing of
of it, because you know, Shivangi, how they were trying to release the body so that they can do the cremation. The family was denying that we don't want to do the cremation in this case. We want a second autopsy in this case. And now the order further states that, and also directs the respondents for conducting a second post-mortem examination of the body of the deceased by a duly constituted board by director of the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, that is from AIIMS in New Delhi or AIIMS Jammu, by a team headed by Dr. Dinesh Rao. Who is Dinesh Rao? Mr. Dinesh Rao, Dr. Dinesh Rao is working as a professor and he is an HOD in the forensic medicine AIIMS Jammu, either at AIIMS Delhi or at AIIMS Jammu. All right, we are getting live visuals outside from the house of Giribala, Shivangi.
Right, getting you live pictures coming in. These are pictures coming in right from outside Giribala, the mother-in-law's residence. And this, by the way, and I want to highlight, this is the matrimonial home of Tisha, of late Tisha. It looks like, well, we'll try to go across to our reporters as well. It looks like there's some movement there. There's some movement there, and couple of people are moving. There could be lawyers who are moving, because we just saw a short while back that lawyers had entered the residence of Giribala, and it looks like they are moving out from that residence. Once we go across to our reporters who are on the ground, we'll understand what is happening there. But there's a movement there, and they are moving out. We're trying to get a reaction. We're trying to get a reaction from them as well. Let's see if they give a reaction before moving out. These are pictures coming in live from Giribala's home. It looks like a couple of lawyers who had entered are leaving. We're trying to get a reaction from them. And once we get, okay, it looks like they're trying to get a reaction, but let's see what's happening on the ground. All right. So, okay. So that movement has just happened. The vehicle, which is usually parked inside Giribala's home, has now just left the residence of Giribala. A short while back, a couple of lawyers had entered Giribala's residence. All right. So it looks like there's a movement there. A couple of family members have just left towards the court, from what we understand so far. So back-to-back updates coming in here on Republic TV, live pictures. We'll continue getting our viewers all these updates. Siddharth Singh, Samar's brother, is moving out of the residence, just moving outside the residence, perhaps with the lawyers who had just entered a short while back. And we were trying to get a reaction, the press there, trying to get a reaction before they moved out. So some movement there from Giribala's home. This is the matrimonial home of the late Tisha. Samar Singh, remember, was taken into custody in Jabalpur after 10 days of evading arrest, following a court's rejection of his surrender attempt there. The CBI has stepped in. The Madhya Pradesh government has transferred the investigation into Tisha Sharma's death to the CBI, and a fresh autopsy has been ordered. We showed you that order copy of the autopsy. Let's go to Shivam, who's joining us. Shivam, we know that Samar will be produced in a Bhopal court today. It looks like Siddharth Singh, who is Samar's brother, is moving out of the residence. Those pictures came in. Yes, Shivam.
Yeah, there are developments happening live as we speak right now, and the visuals are on the screen. Latest, this is from the Giribala home that you can see outside Giribala home, and these are the live visuals coming in from that location. Live visuals because as we say, this is Samar Singh's brother who just left on the screen as we showed you the latest visuals in this case. And there were many lawyers who were entering the home, and when we tried to confront, there was no response. There was no clear response over the bail, over the entire legal proceedings which were happening right now. And they were trying to duck the question, dodge the questions, and because they clearly understand, everybody clearly understands, because this is a huge Republic impact in this case. We were questioning from day one. We were posing the right questions from day one, and they were dodging the question right from Giribala to the lawyers who were present, and now very shortly he will be presented.
गिरिबाला की गिरफ्तारी के लिए किस चीज के लिए सर नोटिस की जानकारी दीजिए, बयान दर्ज करने के लिए।
अंग्रेजी में है वो।
सर आपको पता है, प्लीज आप बताइए सर, एटलीस्ट
वो अंग्रेजी में है, वो बयान दर्ज कराने।
सर क्या बयान दर्ज करने के लिए गिरफ्तारी किस चीज का नोटिस है?
वहाँ पर पहुंचना है
सर नोटिस है, वारंट है, क्या है? अंदर है, गिरिबाला जी अंदर है।
मैडम है क्या? खोलना थोड़ा।
सर किस चीज का नोटिस है, प्लीज सर? सर एक बयान
मेरे अधिकारी बता देंगे।
आप सर यहाँ नोटिस सर्व करने आए हैं सर, प्लीज एक बयान।
ठीक है,
देखिए अभी जो तस्वीरें हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं,
सर कैमरे में नहीं, एक मिनट सर। अरे इनका नाम भूल गया यार, मैं नाम भी तो देना पड़ेगा।
तो ये तस्वीर इस वक्त आप देख रहे हैं गिरिबाला के घर के अंदर 2 पुलिस अधिकारी पहुंचे हुए हैं। हाईकोर्ट का नोटिस
है ना, वो पालक कुछ
हाईकोर्ट का नोटिस सर्व करने के लिए आए हैं। हाईकोर्ट का नोटिस संदर्भ में था, इसकी उन्होंने जानकारी
उसका नाम रह गया यार।
All right, first Republic TV pictures coming in on Republic. We just told you a short while back, the brother of Samarth has just left the residence, moved out of the residence. All right, let's go ahead to my colleague who will be joining us, Pranav, joining us live from the Geo Convention Center, where we see it's a huge festival of technology. We see the brightest minds when it comes to policy, technology, and a lot more present there. The biggest speakers, the biggest thought leaders. Pranav, what is happening today? Pranav joining us live from Mumbai.
Well, yes, absolutely. It's a supercharged atmosphere here. Yesterday was, in fact, a day filled with conversations talking about technology, AI, and futuristic missions. In fact, Devendra Fadnavis, Maharashtra Chief Minister, spoke to Republic Editor-in-Chief Arnab Goswami yesterday, where he spoke about the plans to develop smart cities, about the trillion-dollar investment destination, Maharashtra becoming the big hub for technology investment and AI. We also had MOS Jitendra Singh, who spoke to us about what are India's plans in terms of space technology and space station and space development. So a lot of conversations, a lot of meaningful conversations took place yesterday. And today as well, it's going to be a supercharged day. In fact, we have Republic Editor-in-Chief Arnab Goswami, who will be delivering a keynote address at 11 a.m. So our viewers must stay tuned to that, because it is going to be an insightful one, talking about journalism in times of AI, in times of technology, where it is digital news that is driving the news delivery platform. We will be looking at that at 11 o'clock today. Post that, we will be having a conversation with Sridhar Vembu, the Indian entrepreneur who chose, Bengaluru, or a small village in India, over Silicon Valley. He will be talking to us about technology development. He will be talking to us about the plans to develop India as the tech hub, while choosing India as the destination over global, the Silicon Valley. So yes, a lot of conversations, lot of exciting dialogue that is slated to take place today at BKC here at Imagine Next.
Well, thank you, Pranav, for getting us all those details. It's a big event. Pranav is taking us through what to expect today. The biggest leaders and the brightest minds will be speaking at that festival of technology. Thank you for getting us all those details, Pranav. And taking a short break. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. We'll continue to be live and breaking this Saturday.
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ और
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ, स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
In fact, very often I believe the only way to get justice in India is a media trial. So there's no reason for the media, if it's doing a good job of a media trial, to be on the back foot. In fact, the courts should stop making these overarching remarks about media trial and contemplate about one very basic thing. With the greatest of respect to the courts, when the other institutions fail, when people get let down by the system, when even the judiciary does not seem to be listening or raising a noise about issues, like in the case of Tisha Sharma, who does the public look to for justice, for raising their voice, for bringing something that's utterly false, illegal or wrong to public attention? It is only and only the media. And today, therefore, we are doing a media trial in this specific case, ladies and gentlemen, of Tisha Sharma, the 33-year-old daughter-in-law of an ex-judge, in a case where the ex-judge and the ex-judge's advocate son appear to be more than involved. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 questions tonight. And if they think it's a media trial, so be it. So be it. Why did the ex-judge in the case of Tisha Sharma, neither she nor her son call a police or an ambulance? What took them 57 minutes to bring the body down? Where are the 3 men who are seen in the video dragging Tisha's body, destroying evidence? What was the police doing? Did they question the house staff? Did they question the judge? Was Tisha carrying headphones in her bag, in her hand, or a rope? Where is it now? Where is that so-called belt that cops claim was used by her to commit suicide? Why was it hidden? The mother-in-law, the ex-judge, walks up calmly while the body is being dragged down and evidence is being destroyed before the judge's eyes. Is that normal? Why don't the judges raise a hue and cry about it? Why don't the appellate courts take up this case suo motu? So people don't start believing that when an ex-judge is concerned, the victim will never get justice. Ladies and gentlemen, what was the ex-judge carrying in her hand when she went down? Where is all the CCTV footage? Did the police collect it? Why did the ex-judges...
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डवेयर मसाला।
यानी इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, सबका राजा हार्टफelt मसाला।
I want to start with some very disturbing pictures that have come in of a so-called right-wing leader. His name is Sushil Prajapati. He's accused of rape. After being in jail for 9 months, he gets bail, which means he's still an accused. He's an accused in a rape case. And the case goes back to 2025 when he took an LLB student to one place on the pretext of introducing her to a senior advocate. He drugged her drink and then he sexually assaulted her. He is still under trial for rape. He has not been released. But when he comes out, this rape accused, garlands are put on him as if he's some kind of a hero, as if he's achieved something great. Is a rapist to be celebrated, ladies and gentlemen? I ask you that question. And more than anyone else, I ask the right wing of this country. Very often I come on television and I say, yes, on several issues, I'm happy to be called a right-winger. But ladies and gentlemen, let me put it clearly. You cannot let a person like this man, this Sushil Prajapati,
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जल जीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MTH
Character, the taste of success.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, everyday.
In fact, very often I believe the only way to get justice in India is a media trial. So there's no reason for the media, if it's doing a good job of a media trial, to be on the back foot. In fact, the courts should stop making these overarching remarks about media trial and contemplate about one very basic thing. With the greatest of respect to the courts, when the other institutions fail, when people get let down by the system, when even the judiciary does not seem to be listening or raising a noise about issues, like in the case of Tisha Sharma, who does the public look to for justice, for raising their voice, for bringing something that's utterly false, illegal or wrong to public attention? It is only and only the media. And today, therefore, we are doing a media trial in this specific case, ladies and gentlemen, of Tisha Sharma, the 33-year-old daughter-in-law of an ex-judge, in a case where the ex-judge and the ex-judge's advocate's son appear to be more than involved. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 questions tonight. And if they think it's a media trial, so be it. So be it. Why did the ex-judge in the case of Tisha Sharma, neither she nor her son call a police or an ambulance? What took them 57 minutes to bring the body down? Where are the 3 men who are seen in the video dragging Tisha's body, destroying evidence? What was the police doing? Did they question the house staff? Did they question the judge? Was Tisha carrying headphones in her bag, in her hand, or a rope? Where is it now?
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Headlines brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Tisha Sharma's husband Samar Singh, who was absconding for 10 days, arrested by Bhopal police. Accused Samar Singh suspended from practice as advocate by Bar Council of India. Nashik police files 1500-page charge sheet in TCS harassment and conversion case. CBI arrests third mastermind Manisha Havaldar in connection with NEET exam paper leak. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Kolkata, after which he will head to Delhi for Quad meeting. Energy, security, trade and defense talks on focus. Tulsi Gabbard steps down as Director of National Intelligence, cites husband's bone cancer diagnosis as the reason. And this is the third fuel price hike in 10 days. Petrol up by 87 paise, diesel up by 91 paise.
All right, viewers, let's begin with the first top story. Now, after landing in Kolkata earlier today, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio is en route to Delhi. Now, Rubio will land in Delhi shortly and is set to meet with Prime Minister Narendra Modi at around 2 p.m. Now, this 4-day high-stakes visit of Rubio is being watched closely by the global diplomatic circles. Now, he is going to land in Delhi and he will be in India till May 26, and during his visit, he will be attending the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting. Now, in these 4 days, he will be traveling to various cities, which includes Agra and Jaipur. He was in Kolkata and he's en route to New Delhi. He will be in Agra and Jaipur, and he's here for 4 days. We'll also get you the latest updates in this entire story, because this is big when it comes to the India-US relations. It's a reset of the ties between India and US, because this was very important, and also America continues to be in a conflict with Iran and the Strait of Hormuz being choked in this entire case, and they want to reach out to other countries in this case. And now this important visit of Marco Rubio, a top focus story of today, historic visit, his first visit after a very long time for Secretary of State of United States of America. Now, energy will be in agenda and other trade will be in agenda, and this will be tracked. We are tracking minute-to-minute updates, and we'll be shortly joined by a guest also, and we'll move on to our guests for an interaction on this story and for analysis on what's unfolding. But we are closely tracking all the developments in this entire case. A big day for US-India relations. All right, now I would like to welcome Mr. Robindra Sachdev, Foreign Affairs expert, for a comment on this entire issue. Thanks a lot, Robindra, for joining. And what will be your take? And if you can put this into perspective, what is India going to benefit by the visit of Marco Rubio?
I think in the big picture, the first thing Rubio's visit should accomplish is that it should set a forward-looking positive outlook in US-India relations after the tumultuous, chaotic last 1 year. The last 1 year of US-India relations was perhaps the lowest ebb in terms of rhetoric between the two. There have been differences in the past, but never so much as such a intensity as was in the last 1 year. So the top agenda of the Rubio visit, and we would want, is that US and India get back on track towards, discussions on various topics, and do not lob, googlies at each other.
All right, Mr. Sachdev, let's talk about the energy crisis that India is facing, and not just India, the many countries across the globe. It's happening across the globe, and especially we are better placed, but also if you look at the fuel price hike which are happening. However, there was a question that was given by the government. How long do you think situation is going to improve when it comes to the conflict, and how long do you think India and other countries can keep moving forward, and by very fact that the energy crisis continues, Mr. Sachdeva?
Unfortunately, I think, I may be very wrong, but I think the energy crisis is here to stay, and it would get even worse in the coming 3 months, because, the past supplies which were there, or the oil at sea which was there, all of it has been exhausted. The strategic reserves of various countries, 400 million barrels they were to release, substantially 250 million has already been released, right? So now the world is really reaching the bottom of the barrel in terms of where we are. So whenever new oil starts flowing once the conflict ends, that will itself take another 3 months for markets or for our daily lives to come back to normal. So probably 6 months to 9. But with respect to Rubio visit, there's a very interesting energy angle which I see here. He has said India can buy as much energy as it wants from the United States. Of course we can, open market. But I think what he will be pushing for is now sale of Venezuelan oil to India. Venezuela produces about 1 million barrels a day, right? He could very well say to India, you know what, buy 500,000 barrels a day from Venezuela. India imports about 5 million barrels a day total. So out of that 10%, 500,000 barrels you buy from Venezuela at a discount, assured contract for the next 3 years. okay, that he is offering India some energy security. But the interesting twist in this is that the Venezuelan oil is being sold by the American government. So the money for the oil would go to the government of America or their treasury, and from that account, a portion of it would be given to Venezuela. So the American government directly profits from any sales of Venezuelan oil.
So the entire
versus-
plan, Mr. Sachdeva, Rabindra, the entire plan was about profit making when it comes to the American attack on Venezuela. And if you talk about that also, is it feasible that they can sell Venezuelan oil and they can compensate for the loss that we are not getting the oil from the Middle Eastern region? Can that be can they compensate?
Yeah, it can be. You know, it depends upon the discount. The main thing is that how the distance Venezuela is farther than the Middle East or than Russia, from where we get the heavy sour crude that we process, our private sector, basically Reliance, and then public sector Indian Oil and HP. Right. So if the discount is such that it covers up for the freight addition, I mean, per barrel from Venezuela to India, the freight is around $3 to $4 a barrel. So if the discount on the oil is, let's say, $6 or $7, then, you know, fine, it is as competitive as any other oil that we buy in the market. So the numbers could work out. And secondly, by the way, in this Rubio, I think, playbook, given the call, and there was a talk that Tulsi Rodriguez would be in town, right? She's not coming apparently, but what they're looking is also to offer energy security to the Quad. When he meets with the Quad foreign ministers, he can tell each of them, Australia and Japan, and of course India, fourth is America. So he could tell Australia and Japan also, and India, all three, okay? You each buy 300,000 barrels a day of confirmed secure oil for the next 3 years, a contract. So 300,000 barrels, Japan gets assured, Australia gets assured, India gets assured. And that is about how much Venezuela is producing right now.
Okay.
As it, you know, as it increases its production capacity, it could be selling to others also. But right now it's producing, it can produce no more than 1 to 1.2 million barrels a day. Okay. So here, Rubio would have locked in sales contracts for the Venezuelan oil, provided a pretext or a reason, and said that, yeah, Quad countries, look here, this is a concrete thing that America brings to the Quad. We are helping your energy security.
That's why there is also a trust deficit when it comes to America in terms of their future plans in Iran also, whether they are just after the Iranian oil. So stay with us. We have another big development. I would need a comment on that also from you. Now, US green card applicants will now have to return to home countries to apply. The DHS says this, and foreigners seeking to adjust their immigration status in the United States to secure green cards will have to do so from outside the country via the State Department, the US Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, said on Friday. Now, the green card process had been unchanged for more than 60 years, marking the latest significant move by the Trump administration on immigration policy. And it goes on to say that an alien who is in the US temporarily and wants a green card must return to their home country to apply, said the US Department of Homeland Security, DHS, and they call the outsiders as aliens, now which has oversight of USCIS. Non-immigrants like students, temporary workers, or people on tourist visas come to the US for a short time and for a specific purpose, and our system is designed for them to leave when their visit is over. Their visit should not function as the first step in the green card process. Following the law allows the majority of these cases to be handled by the State Department at US consular offices abroad and frees up limited USCIS resources to focus on processing other cases that fall under its purview. And this is Sridhar Wembu's reaction on this. He says that self-respect should dictate your course in this case, and let's make Bharat proud in this case. So it's about the green card, and Sridhar Wembu has clearly made an appeal to Indians on a visa. Please come home. All right, let's go to Robinda on this for a reaction on what's happening exactly. Robinda, when it comes to the immigration and the policies of America, whether it be H-1B visa or the green card, do you think the American government is on the right track or not?
Well, if you ask Trump and MAGA, they would say they are absolutely on the right track. If you ask, if you ask, especially the tech industry, especially the people who believe in innovation and growth, they will say, no, this is the wrong track because it is about having the right talent. America is what America is because it has been a magnet for talent. So if your policies are demagnetic, then of course you will not be getting the talent. And if you're not getting the talent, then the innovation engine, entrepreneurial engine, the capitalist engine.
But Mr.
which
Rabinder,
America has, will
whether
follow.
it be the American technology, whether it be NASA or the top tech companies across the globe, it is Indians who are leading. It is Indians who are working, and that's why it's called brain drain, and that's the Indian brain functioning abroad. And the appeal by Sridhar Vembu also, and other the people who know the Indian economy, the Indian industry, don't you think this crisis could be turned into an opportunity by calling for all the brain that has gone outside to come back to India, and let's develop India? I think it's being too optimistic, but what else can we do? In the case of crisis, there is an opportune time to develop our country, our economy, and our tech to a level so that we can compete with the top global leaders.
No, absolutely, that is there. Talent, our brain drain, which has gone there, should now become a brain gain. It is said there's a strong argument for it, and it should happen. But at the same time, let us not forget the fact that it's very often many of the talent who have gone abroad, let's say in the US and all, done well in the Silicon Valley, they are the ones who initiated the IT revolution back in India between Silicon Valley and Bangalore, right? Bangalore as an IT center grew only because it was the initial Indian-American IT entrepreneurs in the Silicon Valley and in the US who set up back shops here. Those were the days of call centers and Y2K crisis and such, and BPOs. And once that bridge started working, that's when American mainstream companies got accustomed to the fact that work can be done.
Rabinder, I agree with you to the points that you're
benefit
making.
To that also.
It's a combined effort. It's a collective effort. And especially if you look at the previous governments also, all of the governments were strict when it comes to the immigration policy, but they were open to the talent that was coming there. Now, when all the talent has built the American economy, have built the Silicon Valley and everything, don't you think it sounds like use and throw, that it's all done now, done and dusted, and let's, because we have the technology, we are now an advanced nation, why do we need the people from other countries? Now they have become alien for them. If you go with the wordings that have been mentioned, it sorts of feels nationalistic to the American people. But what about the people who are working for American economy, their country, their citizens, and now you're asking them to move out from the country and then apply for a green card from your country? So it's sort of an insult. Self-respect should come first. At least now. He has called hellhole, India a hellhole. The kind of remarks, even though he praises the government or Prime Minister Modi, but what about the remarks for Indians?
No, definitely so. I mean, in America, white nationalism is on the rise. Christian nationalism is on the rise. Anti-immigrant sentiments and behavior is on the rise, unfortunately, in America. That all is there. That said, you had several points, but I want to specifically talk about this green card going back to India issue. See, when you apply for a green card, you're typically on an H1. I've been on an H1, so I've been on multiple H1s and my own visas, etc. Right? So I know the process, or I've been free, or in my. So you're typically on an H1 with a company for 3 to 6 years. So around the 4th year, you apply for the green card. And your green card is linked to the company in which you're working. Okay. And then by the 6th year, when your H1 period is over, your green card has not come, then you come into a limbo state. You're waiting for the green card, but you're legally allowed to continue working.
Okay.
What this policy is saying is that you have to go to your home country in order to apply. So as of now, I would interpret what this means is that you would
Rabinder, in simple words, you please continue. Just a small interjection. Don't you think go back to your country and apply means just go back to your country? Is that?
No, in the legal sense, okay. If it was said politically,
no, whatever sense,
right,
but they are clearly saying that go
the,
back to your country first, Rabinder. Isn't it that the case?
No, sir. Couple of things. If it is said by a political rhetoric, that is right. But if it's written into law, what it means is that you will go to your country and you will apply from there at the US Embassy in 1 week, 10 days time, and then you will come back and you will continue your work on H1 visa. It is just like H1 visa to be renewed. Okay, H1 used to be for 3 years, is for 3 years. When your H1 has to renew for the next 3 years, you are required to go out of America, apply from a from an embassy or a consulate outside America. So typically what people would do, they would go from the US to Canada and then enter from the Canadian border, fulfilling that requirement. When Trump came, what they've also done now is that for H1 renewal, you have to go back to your home country and then re-enter. That is, you cannot now go to Mexico for a weekend or 3-4 days and then coming back. You know, it has been stamped and your H1 is renewed.
Yeah.
Now it is that you have to go back to your own country to get your H1 re-stamped. So similarly,
Definitely.
I think as of now, from what I understand, green card
Mr.
would
Rabinder,
be
a bit short of time, but as always, as usual, thanks a lot.